Hello there. Hi. Hi. Thanks for joining us. Just checking that we're live. And yes, indeed, we're live now. So if you're joining us now, watching this live, very welcome. If you do watch a replay after this and you'd like to ask us a question or reach out to either Shilpa or myself, then please do so on the LinkedIn chat and we'll be sure to pick it up. So quickly, just to introduce myself, I'm Joyce, Marketing Tech. So we're a one-stop shop for affordable mobile apps and SEO. Really pleased to have Shilpa P here with me in the studio today. Shilpa is a serial entrepreneur. Hi, Shilpa. And she's also a business growth coach as well. Now, she started several successful businesses, including an agency, which she's exited from. And I'm always envious of this. Shilpa's motto is always love Mondays, free Fridays. I don't know how she does it, but I'd love to find out more. So perhaps you could share with us, Shilpa, your how you actually achieve that.
Probably many, many years of working too hard, burning out. So very common in the agency and the creative worlds. So I actually have no opportunity but to make no other option other than to make sure that I'm enjoying life and having as much joy as possible, but also keeping the passion that we all entrepreneurs and business owners have for our work. Systems and structures always help, and the I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but the smarter you can work, the easier it is, and then you've got a little bit more time. It's become quite common too these days, hasn't it? The 4-day work week.
It is. It is becoming quite common. I still haven't yet achieved, though, a 4-day work. We have to be honest. So, love to hear a bit more from you. We have, by the way, just before we go on, if that's all right, just want to say hello to quite a few people who are joining us here today in the studio. So we have, can you, I don't know if you can see that on your chat, Shilpa, but we have Delphine saying hello.
Hello,
Vish,
Delphi.
Vishali Patel, Neil Mitra, Richard Fincher from BNI. Hi, Richard. Julie. Hi, Julie. And we have someone from Fix Clipping, which is a company. So, yeah, hello. Hello, guys. Thanks for joining us and girls as well, of course. Um, so I was we were talking about Shilpa. So I invited Shilpa here today to share with us experience of coaching agencies, and she herself has run an agency before. So this is absolutely relevant to you if you're creative or an agency or developer. And also, I'd like to talk about, towards the end, I'd like to talk about our focus group next week on the 27th of April and the 23rd of May. So if you'd like to join us next week, then please do feel free to do so. It's going to be a learning and networking in a very small, exclusive, private group environment in person and in central London. But more about that later. So back to Shilpa then. A couple of questions for you, Shilpa, if that's all right.
Sure, I like the way you said that I was a serial entrepreneur. I think I'm a retired entrepreneur now.
Oh, you never, ever be totally 100% retired. I don't think
Sure.
so. Yeah. So, yeah. So first question I was going to ask you is what do you think are the issues that are facing creatives and developers and agencies today from your experience?
Probably the same challenges that I face. Now, look, I started my agency way back in 2003. So the digital world was well established, but the social media world with paid ads and just social media management wasn't as mature. So it was a great opportunity to actually have clients, companies, and show them the opportunities. So no different to what I faced then. Maybe a little bit easier because we work in a very saturated market now. I think the biggest challenges, the three biggest challenges that I see people facing is differentiation. There's
Hmm.
way too much of we everyone doing the same thing and the same way. And I think there's an opportunity there for people to really show their difference in the world. Um, Agencies especially, they're all offering marketing, and how do they show that they're different, and how
Hmm.
can they actually delve deep and create if they don't have that uniqueness? If you're doing paid ads, you're doing paid ads. If you're doing SEO, you're doing SEO. But how can you create that uniqueness and really delve really deep to actually evaluate what it is that you can offer customers and be transparent to it. So that uniqueness can even mean going out into a new market choice where
Mhm.
I worked with an agency recently, and they were a traditional agency. They worked with traditional brands, and instead of just going into e-com, they actually went into e-mining and AI, which was totally different.
Mhm.
It enabled them to make a splash and
Yeah.
enabled them to talk about what they did that was different and unique. I think that's really, really important because if you can stand out in a sea of sameness, then
Mhm.
instantly you've got an opportunity of creating a niche, a target market. And we all know how it's easier to market when we are being specific.
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
it's no secret, but the other biggest challenge agencies face, because they're known for attrition, is just recruitment. How to attract the right talent and keep it. Small freelancers, creatives, when they want to work and collaborate with other people, I think attracting that talent can be quite challenging and quite frustrating.
Mhm.
And finally, creating processes. I mean, we all know how agency workflows can get quite complicated with
Mhm.
so many factors coming in. So they
Mhm.
tend to be the top three that keep coming up time and time again.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So you were talking about differentiation. That's really tough. You were also talking about. Remind me, what was the other point that you mentioned?
Pricing,
Pricing.
differentiation,
Okay.
pricing, processes, and recruitment, talent.
Process and yes, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, apologies there. Um, right. Okay. So could you talk to us about one big challenge that, again, coming back to creators and agencies, one big challenge that they face, amongst others? Give us an example, if you can, of how you help an agency or creative overcome that one big challenge. What would you do to help them?
So differentiation takes many ways and many forms, and pricing is always a challenge for any business.
Mm-hmm.
And creatives, agencies tend to find this quite challenging because historically they pay for time. Now, isn't that a
Yeah.
wonderful way to get burnt out and a wonderful way how not to
Mm.
grow and how not to grow your profits? Because you're selling your time for money, and that's always very
Yeah.
challenging. How can we be creative in the
Yeah.
way that we create our packages, our offerings, and our partnerships? We like to partner with clients. We want to keep clients long term. We want to love them and look after them and
Mm-hmm.
give them great work and stay with them long term. That's always the approach that we have. How do we do that? One great way that I found working with an agency is how to create more value based and performance based pricing models for your client. Look, if you've got some skin in the game, then that's differentiating you already from all the sea of creatives and agencies out there. You're actually showing your client base that we value what we do, we're very good at what we do, and we will make sure that we work our hardest to ensure that you get the results. Clear expectations, obviously, but we've
Mm-hmm.
set them up from the front. And we're going to put a pricing model where it's performance based. I found in the past that to be a real winner. Creates intense depth of relationship trust with the client. They're
Mm-hmm.
happy because you're no longer the agency who they can fire or the freelancer that they can get rid of if they're not happy with something. But you've then turned into a partner. And once you've got that coveted partner status, it's just a different ballgame.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So you mentioned earlier about value-based pricing that's performance-based. And Richard here is very interested as well. It seems Richard's interested in pricing. It's his obsession, according to Richard. So,
Hi,
would
Richard.
you, hi, would you care to share with us and with Richard especially how you would do that?
Yeah, so sit down and work out what the problems are with your client. What are the challenges that your client's facing? Um, Agencies are always challenged with the clients asking, well, we're spending X amount with you, 50K, 100K, 200K. Where's that going? They get a lot of reports every week,
Mm-hmm.
every month.
Yeah.
Do they understand those reports, and do they see the ROI instantly, and do they understand that ROI? So sit down with them and understand what their challenges are, and look at innovative pricing that you can put in. Does that include some bundling? Does that include more education process for them? How are you setting a differentiator with your clients? How are you showing your clients, I really appreciate you. I really understand your pains. And this is how we're giving you the results. And this
Mm-hmm.
is also including in our pricing packages. That always works.
Okay. Yeah, it just reminds me of what I'll do. For example, providing SEO services. It's very well and easy to generate reports on a monthly basis and just send it off to the client. Not really bothering to explain or to actually sit through with the client what those reports mean. And I would find it quite annoying being the client myself if someone sends me a report and not bother to explain to me what impact that makes on the business as a whole. As a matter of fact, I find that just sending progress reports to clients as an agency, as an SEO agency, it doesn't really make sense because nowadays clients don't really spend a lot of time looking at their emails and checking out reports. What they want to know is what's it done for their business. And I find that that's much more useful to have a call with them and explain to them than rather just sending out reports and just relying on them having read emails, which quite often we don't, or we don't read them quick enough.
That's a really good point that you bring out. And I'd like to ask how many clients actually understand the reports that we provide for them? It's
Mm,
often full of technical information, which they have no semblance of, even if
hmm.
they've been working with you for a couple of years. How about sticking on a little Loom recording and saying, this is
Yeah,
what this means for you?
yeah.
Remember, we talked about this last month. Well,
Hmm.
look at the difference it's happened this month. This is good. Keep doing this. Keep producing your content. Keep producing your reels. Keep the focus.
Yeah.
One of the objectives we agreed at the beginning of the year was X. Look, it's happening. Because
Hmm.
that's what a business owner wants to see. This
Hmm.
is what we wanted to achieve, and how are we getting to there? It's not for them to think it through, and that's a value add, and that
Hmm.
humanness, that personalization, I always think is so phenomenal. If you're
Mm,
if you're a freelancer, do it yourself. Don't take up too much client time, but show them that before and after, and that growth and that transition. And if you're an agency owner, task your account managers to do that, and
hmm.
explain, and create that, and continue that rapport, and move it forward. Often when you have such depth of relationship, you're growing the account size anyway. You're getting more business, you're getting more spend, you're doing more things because they can see the benefits that you're achieving.
Hmm.
Who doesn't want to get 100, 500 quid back for every quid they spend? Everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And just explaining things in just plain human language means a lot than just sending technical reports, I would say. We have Vishali here. I don't know if you could see her comments. She says, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And to the client, your value is directly proportional to the size of the problems you can solve.
Yeah. Nice one, Vishali. Nicely put.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for that, Shilpa. So, shall we move on to talk about the focus group that unless anyone here has any questions to people who are following us, if not, then shall we talk about the focus group next week?
Let's
And
go. I'm really
yeah,
excited of doing live in-person events. It feels like an eternity that we've all been wearing sweats and sitting behind Zoom screens, and it's nice to it's nice to see the whites of people's eyes, and talk, and be in a room together and solve challenges, because that's, I think, what makes
definitely.
what's business exciting. I left my corporate job because I wanted to run my own business and lunch more. And it was a rude awakening that I didn't actually lunch so much. So maybe free Fridays are for more lunching and more focus groups.
Now you do lunch more now, don't you, on Fridays? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so focus group. What should we tell our audience about next Thursday's focus group
A
and the
lot,
benefits of that?
yeah, a lot of people always ask me, Shilpa, what's a focus group? And I'm like, yeah, that's a really good question. A focus group is a combination of a mastermind
Yeah.
and a training session. So you're actually learning, but you're implementing it. Because how many times have we been on a course, a learning course? They give you a booklet and they're talking and they're
Mm.
talking and they're talking, and you're like, ah, oh, this is so boring. So in a focus group, we're sharing strategies, 8 strategies in actual fact, and they're on the link and on the
Mm-hmm.
agenda of what we're going to go through. But
Yeah.
we're actually implementing them into our business. So past attendees of our focus groups have been accountants, lawyers, small business owners, larger business owners, people in corporates that want to actually learn how to manage their own brand and move that forward. So we're going to look at pricing, we're going to look at digital marketing. How do you create a massive increase in your business with a handful of strategies? In my consultancy, I work with 52 levers in a business, 52 areas that a business can grow. We're picking 8 of these and sharing
Mm-hmm.
them I think we've capped it at 10 people around a boardroom where
Yeah.
we're actually putting this in that very short period of time. How can they be implemented into their business and make an impact? And can you walk away? Our objective is that can you walk away from the focus group actually having implemented something into your business and see a positive impact on that? A positive profit's very nice. I had one lady who increased her prices because we talked about how to do it ethically and in a way she wasn't going to lose clients. And
Mm-hmm.
she made an extra £30,000 in 2 months. So
Mm-hmm. That's
that's
amazing.
isn't that exciting? Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it when things like that happen. It's really really exciting.
Yeah.
And I think it's fantastic that we're awarding 2 CPD points.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brilliant for people that are needing to keep up with professional development. And what better way than putting that time into yourself? You know.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the networking value of that as well, because it's a small, in person, quite private group. And we're holding it at an accountancy firm that's in central London as well. So it'd be facilitated. And as Shilpa has mentioned, it's a focus group. So it's not like the old focus groups that I used to know, but it's a focus group, which is a new way of, I suppose, facilitating the group, a combination of mastermind and a coaching session. Am I right, Shilpa? That's
Coaching,
how
a little
you would.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
so we're going to sit, we're going to learn some strategies that are different. I'm not going to teach
yeah,
you stuff that you already know. We're
yeah.
going to apply them to your actual business
Hmm.
and work out a little plan for you to take forward. We're only
Yeah.
in the room for 3 hours together, but listen, so much can be done in 3 hours.
There's a lot, yeah. So, and on my side, I'm going to cover the practical aspects of digital marketing. So, I'm just going to talk about some of the things we're talking about would be software, which is always the questions that I get asked when I go into training sessions, training businesses on digital marketing. What sort of software do you use to do this? What can you use to do that to automate your marketing? And we're not just going to be talking about online marketing because you can't really separate online marketing from offline marketing. I've been asked before, what's the difference? And I say, really, it's a multi-channel approach. I mean, we are talking about marketing in modern day terms, where we don't really shouldn't really differentiate. What is offline marketing? People meeting people in a networking session is marketing, but then later on, you might meet that same person on LinkedIn, for example, or you might send an email to the other person. So it's a mishmash of online and offline marketing. So we're going to be talking about that and how that relates to your business. And also, the other big topic is about lead generation. What are the different activities, the popular activities that as businesses would conduct to generate more inquiries, to generate more leads? And the important thing is, we can get carried away on lead generation as a business at the detriment of at the detriment of, for example, spending more time with the clients further down the funnel. So it's very important to track and measure the lead gen activities that we're focusing on, how much time we're spending there. And only by tracking and measuring do we then know how successful we have been over a period of time doing these activities that we do on a weekly basis. And I'm talking about offline, online channels in which we lead gen. So hopefully that's going to be helpful for you, and that's my contribution as well to our focus group for next Thursday.
I think that's a game changer, Joyce. Actually measuring and analyzing and acting upon lead generation channels. So many people spend a consummate amount of time on social media, uh,
Mm-hmm.
on paid
Mm-hmm.
ads. Paid ads, we have a little bit more activity on. On networking, I see so many
Mm-hmm.
solopreneurs constantly networking. And
Yeah.
clients of mine that do that, I sit down and we work out what's this time costing them and what's the ROI. When you actually have an absolute sheet in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
you've been able to dig deep into that data and actually analyze it. It's a game changer, not only on the impact it has on your time, but how that actually follows through from time into profit. It's quite phenomenal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So loads of topics to discuss. So hopefully that gives you a flavor of some of the key things we're going to touch on. Of course, there's a lot more that we're going to be covering during the 3 hour focus group session. So I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add to this, Shilpa.
No, I think we've covered lots of things. One of my favorite topics when I
Mm-hmm,
do in the focus groups is always how to excel. How do you excel as a creative, as an agency? 12 years as an agency owner myself,
mm-hmm,
I had a staff count of 40. What is it? How do you actually investigate what it is that your clients want? How
mm-hmm,
do you again show that differentiation? I had a client recently, and what they started doing was offering sessions to their clients, open surgeries, not so
yeah.
much training sessions, but educational sessions. Again, that old thing, relationships, as Vaishali talked about, it
Mm-hmm,
created so much goodwill with the clients that 60% of them either increased their budgets or they were able to retain them for a lot longer. And it's actually learning strategies like this, which are
mm-hmm,
specific to your business. Is
yeah.
it's not like picking up a textbook and saying this is something that everyone can do. What's specific to you?
Mm-hmm,
Where are you in your business plan, in your business growth
mm-hmm,
cycle?
mm-hmm,
Where are you in your sector, in your niche? And what can you do to ethically outmaneuver the competition? Because ultimately, that's what we all want to do. We all want to shine bright,
mm-hmm.
and I think that's
Absolutely.
really important.
Yeah, and I think you and I, Shopal, I think we've put in enough years as well to. It's not going to be an academic exercise, certainly not. We're going to be speaking from experience. It's all going to be practical suggestions and recommendations from us. I think all the academic stuff can be read anyway from books and internet, and so yeah, so that's what the 3 hours is going to be about. I'm going to share with you this slide. If anyone here is interested, that's a QR code that you could scan in. As Shilpa's mentioned, if you're a BNI member, then you do get 3 CU points. I hope I don't get into trouble saying that. 3 CU points will be given to you for the training session. And also, if you belong to a regulated professional services industry, then you're entitled to 2 CPD points as well. I thought I mentioned that. We are an accredited CPD provider. So if you do attend the session, sign up, attend the sessions, and we'll be sending you a CPD certificate very soon with your details on that. So again, QR code's there, so feel free to scan it if you want to join us, or simply just to find out more about exactly what we're covering. The agenda is outlined in great detail on the landing page, the sign up page there, if you scan the QR code. So there, I think that's it.
Super. Good to see you, Joyce. Thanks everyone for joining in.
Thank you for joining us. And if you stay on a minute, Shilpa, after this, we'll chat after that. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to sign off here now and see you soon. Thank you.